Today we are going to learn about type of airspace. What's the purpose of this lesson? If you don't know about weather minimum or do not follow airspace regulations or do not follow operating rules by mistake, it causes safety issue. It's a pilot deviation. You may lose your certificate. So we can get resources from and references from a PHAC and FAR-AIM and other FAA documents. There are two types of airspace, controlled airspace and uncontrolled airspace. What is the controlled airspace? It is under control of ATC and it provides ATC service to the traffic. The separation of air traffic is primary function of ATC. Radar service includes VFR traffic advisory, and weather information, and lost procedure, and so on. Uncontrolled airspace is not under control of ATC. Class Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, Delta, Echo airspace is in uncontrolled airspace. Let's talk about the Alpha airspace first. There's a simple way to remember the specific airspace. So Alpha airspace, I want to say above. And remember 3H. High altitude, high speed, highway. Let's talk about high altitude first. The Alpha airspace, the boundary from 18,000 feet MSL up to flight level 600. It's an Alpha airspace. So what is the high speed? In class Alpha airspace, do you know how fast is the airplane operating in class Alpha airspace? So 1 Mach is equal to 666 knots. The Boeing 737, the cruising speed 0.75 Mach. It's about 500 knots. It's so fast, right? And highway means IFR flight only. About operating rules, we need to get ATC clearance and two-way radio communication. What's the difference between the ATC clearance and two-way radio communication? ATC clearance means, for example, you are Cessna in this Bravo airspace. In case of Bravo airspace, Cessna 429 Romeo, you are cleared to enter Bravo airspace east route, maintain 4000 squawk 7353. Like you need to get clearance from ATC. And two-way radio communication means ATC tells you your tail number. Okay. And aircraft equipment requirements. There's a mode C transponder is required, and ADSB out is required. Most transponder means altitude reporting transponder, and ADSB stands for automatic dependent surveillance broadcast. It's information about aircraft location and the ground speed and other data to the ground station or other aircrafts once per second. As pilots, at least private pilot certificate with instrument rating is required to operate in class Alpha airspace. Okay, let's talk about Bravo airspace. Bravo airspace we call BGIST or biggest airport. So Phoenix Sky Harbor Airport is Bravo Airspace. It's surrounded by solid blue line, surrounded by national busiest airport. And as you can see, it will tailored each individual airspace and 2 or more layer. Bravo airspace, the boundary from surface up to 10,000 feet MSL. We tailor each individual airspace. So as you can see, the outer, Bravo airspace from 5,000 up to 9,000 feet, and core area from surface up to 9,000 feet MSL is Bravo airspace. And there's a mode C veil is a 30 nautical mile radius of Bravo airspace, the Bravo airspace. In this area, mode C transponder and ADS-B out is required. Operating rules, ATC clearance is required and two-way radio communication. Communication is required. And in Bravo airspace, most transponder and ADS-B out is required. As pilots, at least private pilot certificate is required to operate in Bravo airspace. But for student pilots, need to get endorsement, specific endorsement from instructor. And the Charlie airspace, I want to say bigger airport. So Tucson Airport is Charlie airspace. Is surrounded by solid magenta line. Charlie airspace generally from surface up to 4,000 AGL is Charlie airspace. And the core area is but charted in MSL. So core area from surface up to 6,600 feet MSL is Charlie airspace, and 5 nautical mile radius of the airport. And outer area is a 10 nautical mile radius of the airport, and from the 4,200 MSL up to 6,600 feet MSL is Charlie airspace. Charlie airspace, about operating rules, we need to get a two-way radio communication is required